Welcome to the Savage Den.
All right, I'll do the intro. Welcome back, everybody, to the Savage Den podcast. This is episode 11. Thank you all again for listening to our ramblings almost every week. Today, we've got myself, Don. We have the Ravaging Nathan and the Jerky Chris. But the piece de resistance is we have a special guest today with Mr. OGPickle, a.k.a. Mitch, joining us for today's episode. Nathan, why don't you take it away?
I love pickles. How you doing, Mitch?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. You cannot believe how excited I am to have you here.
I've got to say, the green room back here, phenomenal. The tour rider that I requested, I said only red M&Ms. They totally killed it. They separated it by hand on stream. I saw that. That was probably why Ravaging was at like 3 viewers that day. No big deal. I appreciate you guys having me.
Yeah, fair enough.
Were the strippers that we got for you plentiful?
No strippers this time. I specifically said we gotta keep it clean on this one.
Oh, you shoot them away? Okay. That's
I
fair.
did. I had to.
Oh, I took
You're like, nah, not today, ladies. Please.
Yeah, it's
Need a
always
break.
sad when you have to kick the strippers out, you know?
Yeah, it's not sad if you don't have to pull them in to begin with.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Mitch, congratulations on that fancy check mark you got now.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
There's a lot
we
of
got
hard
a new
work.
partner.
Yeah, a
Which
lot of hard
partner?
work. Yeah, we got the approval, man. So I'm excited. Like I said, a ton of hard work. 3 years in the making, and just stoked to be here.
Yeah, I
Dude,
remember
I'm so happy for you.
I remember the last time that I had stopped into your channel when I wasn't busy and came and hung out for a little bit. I remember you saying like, yeah, I talked to someone from Twitch today and they just said, if I keep it up for another month, they'll approve it. And that was exciting. And then I stopped in the other day when you announced like we finally did it. Like, crap, I got to go in there. And you're
Yeah,
like,
I
hey, I
appreciate
have
that.
hot sauce. And I'm like, let me get that hot sauce too.
Well, I appreciate it. I'm just trying to like kind of do an overall brand type of stuff. But I will say Savage was like genuinely one of the most exciting. Like I stopped in a few people's chats to like throw the check mark around a little bit. Like I didn't want to parade it, but I also was like very excited. So I was torn, right, between like wanting to show the check mark and wanting to hide it and not be like a complete douche. But I stopped into him and he like stopped the stream, looked dead in the camera. I like looked around to make sure that like no one was near. I
Am I
had chills
safe?
down my body. Yeah. But I did want to give you a shout out, dude. That was awesome. It was really nice. That was one that stuck with me.
I mean, you gotta swing that check mark around once
It's
you
a
got
weird
it,
thing.
You know?
Twitch is, as much as it is forward facing and everyone looks at it, it's just a webcam and some games and, different setups of velocity. There's actually a lot of politics that go on behind the scenes and do's and don'ts and the way people react.
Yeah.
It's actually really weird and it's highly political. And that's one thing that I don't think viewers or streamers who haven't gone through a certain threshold won't run into it because it's just kind of you and your buddies. But there really is like a certain game or science behind all this. That's actually pretty wild.
Oh, and
Yeah.
you gotta play it if you want to make it.
I had heard
Yeah.
that there are some streamers out there, like partnered streamers, that will get upset if you come by their stream and you're talking in their chat while you have your check mark next to your name.
That's a thing.
Whoa.
I don't
I heard
surround
that's a
myself
thing.
with people like that, but yeah, that's very true. Like I won't. I'm eating chicken fingers, which is terrible over a podcast. So I'm sorry about that. Well, I get this
I
message
mean,
from
it's not as
Savage.
good as sloppy joes.
I get this message from Savage, like, we need you now. You good now? Like, I was like, sure, I'm right here. But to your
I
point,
told you guys it would work.
yeah, it worked. That's the best way to get a hold of me as far as like I got a lot of stuff going on, so just hitting me then was perfect. But to your point, yeah, you're absolutely right. There are one of the definite, like, without saying, there's kind of like stories that go behind the scenes. But yeah, there's a lot of creators don't. There's almost like a false insecurity where like if someone with a check mark comes in and says hi, that they think that all their viewers are just instantly going to gravitate. And it's to me, it's an insecurity with your own content because you're so worried and wrapped up that, oh my gosh, this guy with the check mark is going to steal my viewers. Well, truthfully, then you got some piece of shit content, you know what I'm saying? Like you shouldn't worry. And I kind of take a different approach.
What was that? What was that auto bleep? That was fucking
That's the
amazing.
Go XLR.
Yeah,
Oh
I
my
try to.
God.
I run like a cleaner stream, but I'm okay to get fucking, down with it a little bit. I got a little bleep here just in case.
That is beautiful. Holy shit! I need to go XLR.
I've got
okay,
all
that
kinds
settles
of.
it.
We can do all kinds of stuff, dude. I mean, if I really need to disguise, like I can do things like.
Last time I talked to him, the streamer said that he touched me right here, and I was uncomfortable with it.
You had to show us on the doll.
Yeah.
Point to the doll where the streamer touched you, and leave no detail undefined.
Yeah, that's kind of part of my act too. Is when I got to go XLR, it really allowed me to flourish
Don't mind if
and
I take
show
my
different.
shirt off.
Yeah, exactly. It led me to change
Is
some things up.
is that a product pitch right there?
Yeah.
Sponsorship incoming.
If I had one, it would be yeah. I mean this thing allows me to kind of do what I want with all the stupid things that are inside my head. And yeah, no free ads, no free brand deals, boys, but 100%.
I like it. Like, you just dropped out there. That
Complete
is
silence.
Yeah. So much for
Did he mean
that
to?
not so sponsored pitch there.
No free brand deals. That's my like underlying like it's a joke, but also like no way. I'm not gonna sell somebody else's product.
No, we do not endorse Go XLR in any way, shape, or form until they give us money.
100%. That's how you should,
Yep.
dude.
Big
It's a
facts.
terrible
Yeah, fair
product
enough.
unless they
I
pay.
actually had
a
somebody
lot of
come
money.
at me on Twitter the other day. They were like, "Hey, like we have this thing. It was like some fucking G Fuel knockoff," and they were like, do you want to talk about this on your stream? Like, we'll sponsor you or whatever." And I was like, "Okay, how much are you paying?" And they were like, "Well, you'll get like a code and they can like put it in there." And I was like, "Yeah, but like, how much are you gonna pay me?" And they were like, "Well, nothing." And I was like, "You can fuck off then."
Yeah, I mean, I think that's
Yeah.
another thing that like I don't have a lot of pet peeves on Twitch. Mostly, I just let people do their thing because at the end of the day, who cares? Like, am I really going to change their mind on stuff? But the funniest thing is seeing people with like, and I don't knock them for doing it, but I also am not like impressed by it. But like when somebody with no viewers, no nothing is sponsored by like 19 products, it's like get gamer jerky, get gamer goo, get this, get this, get this, get that. And I'm like, are you serious right now? Like you have more endorsement deals than Dr. Disrespect. Like I don't even know what's going on here. And I just see that. I'm like, I guess I asked the question, like, do you actually think you're fooling people? Or like, do you think that's
I
true?
mean, it could honestly be all those affiliations because, man, they come at you pretty hard sometimes. I had some clothing company come at me and sent me this long contract deal and all sorts of crap. Like, and in the end, it was literally we give you a code and you get like 30% off. And if you purchase one of our items of clothing, then you get a code or whatever. And it's like, yeah, I'm going to pass on that because that is the sleaziest way I've ever seen of a company making money. Like, you're just literally conning small streamers into buying your ugly shirts just sorry, there was a sound command in my chat. Just to sell it to them. Like, you're not going to get any sales off of these little product codes. You're not.
Oh no,
But you sold it to that streamer.
that's what it was. Yeah, it wasn't the G Fuel knockoff. That was months ago. Yeah, it was something clothing. Yeah, fuck those guys.
Yeah.
It's
Gotta
funny because
love
I
it.
work in the polar opposite. So my full-time job, which not a lot of people know this on stream, is I make clothing for like some of the biggest brands on the internet. Like I got my rise to fame by tagging along on Chaco, I'm always grateful for everything he's ever done for me, but everyone knows me as like Chaco's merch guy, right? But I also do guys that are way crazier and way different in different facets, like YouTube and other big Twitch guys and music and an NFL athletes. So I really have leveraged a lot of different markets, but we have done similar topics. Like I see why these little t-shirt guys are trying that, but in the end, I also see like how much other influencers that of that caliber actually want. Like they want their pie and to eat it too. So it's a wild balance between not being the bottom of the barrel and being at the top. You know what I mean?
Yeah. How did you get into that? Like, how did you get into like clothing? What exactly do you do? Do you design
So when I
like
first
merch and
started,
stuff?
yeah. So when I first started, I had a t-shirt company with one of my buddies here in Columbus, and we just made viral shirts, viral sensations. Like so and so would get like a Johnny Manziel got arrested back in the day, dressing up like somebody and didn't pay his tab, right? And So we would make a shirt and launch it on the internet. Like that was like 5 or 6 years ago, before like influencers were really around, but we were just trying to make viral shirts. Okay. And once we did that, we started commandeering and getting a hold of all these like influencers were interested. So I met Roman Atwood, who's a YouTuber here in Columbus and really one of the pioneers of YouTube with like Casey Neistat and stuff. And he said to me one day, hey, I want to introduce you to this guy named Logan Paul. And I was like, sweet, bring him by the shop. He wants to film a skit. And I was like, that's awesome. So he came and he filmed a skit and like 600 people showed up. And we were like, what the is this? Like, what just happened? This guy said, come to the store and everyone's here. Like, this is crazy. So we huddled up and I just said, let's just give this guy free stuff. Let's keep in touch. And we kept in touch with Logan for, 6 months, almost, it was probably by the end of it, I tracked back, it's probably like a year and a half of just giving free stuff. And he started these vlogs. And then I came to him with Brandon with an idea and we said, why are you wearing my gear? Because we were selling a little bit. We were happy. We were like a 4-man squad, design and print and ship and fulfill. But then we flipped it on Logan and said, why don't you let us make your clothes? And we'll make something special and you guys can do it. And we started Maverick by Logan Paul in 2015. That was our first brand. And he did a lot, a lot. Whether you like the guy or not, I don't care. I've heard everyone's opinion. And truthfully, I don't want to go down that road. He's done some stupid stuff, but I respect the hell out of his business. And
Yeah, fair enough.
yeah, I mean, a lot of people just like, well, he's an idiot. He's a douche. Well, he's got 5,000 times more money than you and was like, he's just made a crap ton of money. So put your ethics aside and put your business pants on, And so we started Maverick. And then I've jumped around from brands like Mr. Beast and Ninja and Tfue and Travis Kelce and all these other big brands that we don't really talk about because my job is to not exist. But to answer your question in the beginning, I do everything from design, print, fulfillment, ship, customer service, ad retargeting, Google Analytic retargeting, funneling, analytics, make their shirts, make their design, make their logos, custom brands from China, Turkey, like wherever. So we do the entire encompassing of the brand. So it grew from this 2-man t-shirt shop into like a 45-person factory here in Columbus. That's still running, even though all this crap's kind of going on around us.
So you're legitimately doing Twitch as just like a straight up hobby at this point.
Yeah, it was a side gig. And the truth to that one is I've worked for a lot of influencers who are douchebags. Like I will leave some.
You don't say.
I won't say, but like I've worked for a lot of these guys that are famous, and I literally sat and went, like, how are you famous, dude? Like how like you're not doing anything. They're mostly just consistent. So I really had a fire under me that said I'm gonna bet on myself, and I'm just gonna do this myself, and I'm gonna see it all the way through. And so I set aside 4 days a week that I read everything. All the big influencers were like, do this, do this, do this, do this, and I just did that. And I think that really is the key to success.
I mean, that's awesome, dude. Whereabouts in Columbus are you guys located? Like prior to the lockdown, I actually rolled through there pretty frequently.
Yeah, we're up. We're in like the Whitehall area because we built a greenfield site, so it's a brand new facility. So if you're ever in the town and you actually want to stop by, I'll show you kind of some really cool stuff that you might not know existed in Columbus, and it's really some of like the forefronts of like YouTuber merch and where merch started, because it's evolved from us to like 6 companies, and now Stream Elements is doing it, and Stream Labs offers their own merch. It's actually a wild process behind the scenes,
And just to clarify, you're not talking about like Columbus, Georgia, or Columbus, Indiana.
Ohio. Yeah, we're in Ohio.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, I mean, dude, next time we're rolling through, after all this COVID shit blows over, I'll hit you up, man.
I would love to
take a tour.
Yeah, I would love to just, show you some cool things that you might not know exist, or really the inner workings of like how it actually gets from a concept or an influencer to the e-commerce stores.
Oh yeah, I mean, I've had I got a few pieces up on the Streamlabs store, but seeing how it actually gets done would be kind of fucking cool. And sorry, Nathan, what were you gonna say before I so rudely cut you off?
No. Like, I'm just curious. Like, I was dealing with some stuff and I kind of missed part of what you were saying. Like, is what you do connected to like the Streamlabs, Stream Element stuff, or are you your own entity? Like, so could someone like me say, you know what, I'm tired of dealing with Streamlabs, I'm going to go with OGPickle instead?
I am set up to do that, and I don't want to sound like offensive. We just go after like volume, because the merch game, what you guys don't know, is an economics game. So Stream Elements will
economies of scale.
Yeah, well,
Absolutely.
every influencer thinks they deserve 50 to 100% of the profit or net revenue, gross revenue. Like, it's just crazy how people like don't understand business but want all the money and then want you to be able to do like this crazy stuff without any kind of cash flow. So that's a story for a beer with you guys in private. But the reason we have to go volume is because usually the splits are pretty high for some of these taller influencers, and and the reason is because we bet on them to do volume, like a lot of volume, not like 5 to 10 shirts a month. We're talking like 5,000 to 10,000 shirts a month. So
yeah,
I don't offer the smaller guys because there's just very like the amount of time it would take me to make a Ravaging Savage shirt print the simplest run of 24 shirts, right, which is the lowest run we can do in house, and then build an e-commerce site just to sell maybe 12 to 24. I hope you would do that, but even if we sold out the max I could buy you, the economics don't work with how many people are working on it and how much touch points it has from A to B. So like your cut, if you wanted to do that, I could give you like 3%, which wouldn't even be worth your time. So the best route is to go where you're going. It's DTG, which I don't like, meaning it's digital print to garment. So it's gonna wash off for a while. But that's the way that's why they can give you $15 on a $25 t-shirt, is because they're digitally putting on. It's not ink. So the quality's not really there, but they can put it on everything, and it can be 15 colors, and it can be whatever you want, and that's why those models work.
Holy shit!
I'll be honest with you. I don't even take any profit off of my merch. It's already expensive as it is. I'm like, you know what? If I want someone to buy this $20 t-shirt, I can't jack the price up anymore just to get money off of it.
Yeah.
Kinda dumb.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with you, but that's the whole line of work. Like, my job is to do that. Like, a t-shirt doesn't cost $28 to do, but when the economics come into it, when you think of scarcity and when you think of it is truly an influencer bred merch, so it has some higher caliber. But no, like at the end of the day, and then I have to split that number with somebody else. It's a little crazy to make money and scale. So you do have to jack up the price.
No, it's business sense.
Everybody needs their slice of the pie.
Right. In order to survive. It's a weird world,
This entire time you've been talking, I've been admiring just how business oriented you are. And I love that because I feel like, especially in the content creator realm, there's so many people that are like, just their mindset is on creativity and fun and laughter and community. And while those are all parts of it, a lot of them seem to forget that there's a business side to content creation. And if you don't latch on to that business side, then you're probably not going to go very far, sad to say. Like, you've got to, it's like I got in a debate with someone on Twitter and they were talking about how sleazy clickbaiting is. Like, you shouldn't clickbait. Clickbait is bad. It's like, you kind of have to. Like, that's content creation. You have to get people clicking on it.
Well, I would argue it's not like people don't know it's clickbait. Like, does anyone watch it and be like,
doctors don't want you to know what this is. 5 simple steps. Like,
come on, dude. Like, we know it's clickbait. We've seen it a million times. So, like, I don't think you're pulling like some veil off somebody where they're going to look at you and go, "Oh my God, Savage, there wasn't even 5 tips in that." No, it just is what it is. You know what I mean? And I really appreciate you saying that, because that was my whole mantra too, was like, I always wanted to have some kind of purpose and tangible. And Asylum did a great job in the beginning alluding to that. Like, I did 100 episodes, 3 days a week of eating hot foods and reacting and just being stupid and being myself, right? To leverage my Twitch. That was my main goal, was like, how do you differentiate among a totally saturated market? Well, you become
the hot sauce god.
And you change your whole personality and make a character, whatever. But look at the end. This is the fun part, was I actually went and doubled down on it. And now I have 3 hot sauces coming out. The first one that sold out in 5 hours. Like, I didn't think in a million years that it would sell out 5 hours. But therein lies 99 episodes, creating a brand, creating a concept, creating a fun show that people look to expect. The first episode sucked, but by 99, I had my craft down, right? And then, launching a product after. And it's really no difference in the mark of like influencers. They do 100 vlogs, and then by the time they get legitimacy, they launch their own merch. I think the issue I have with merch now is anyone thinks they can do it. And now, that's not a knock on you guys. I just see it from a different perspective. Like, Ravaging, I think you totally deserve merch. I think that's dope. But I also think it's like,
nope.
Everybody and their mother has merch, so it's so sad. It's like a dude that has like no viewers, like suddenly is like posting his second post on an Instagram he just made a week before. It's like, first post a clip, second post, buy my hoodie. It's like, what is happening, people?
I feel personally attacked.
the ease of access to this to like with Streamlabs and Stream Elements that, you know, like I understand your perspective big time. Like if you run a business of your caliber and you depend on like quantity and all that other stuff, like obviously us small guys are not going to cut it for you. And that's okay. That's okay. That's why we have Streamlabs and Stream Elements and stuff like that. Because I might not sell but like 5 shirts a year, but you know,
I agree.
whatever.
See, I think it's perfect. That's why I said cause we talked to Stream Elements before they launched this program, and they were interested in seeing if we were capability of doing a partnership. And at the end of the day, we weren't, because we don't do digital print to garment. Like that requires like a blanks program. So you have to have like, so instead of like for my company, if somebody came up and said, I want a tie-dye blue and red shirt and I want these 5 prints on it, we would have to do that, right? We would find the source, we would source the ink, we would source this and do it. The beauty of Stream Elements, but also the con, is like you're gonna get black, blue, red. You know what I mean? Like you have a blanks program, and then you get those colors, and that's pretty much you get what you get. But that's the trade-off, right? So you get to have a logo shirt, you get to have, you know, what you want, right? And offer it to people that want to have a physical connection with you in terms of merchandise. And I still think that's cool. It just isn't. It's just sometimes there's a double edge to that. Like I do think there is a level somewhere in the sand where someone should have it, and then another one's just like I kind of get to a point where I'm like, what are you doing, bro? Like, okay.
Yeah.
It takes the magic of having your merchandise away. I think that's my issue. It's like if everyone has it, it's not, you know, it's like, okay.
Yeah, I mean, I can agree and disagree with that. Like, you know, all these guys can have their merch, but that doesn't change the fact that PewDiePie's merch is going to be worth 10 times more than yours ever will be. It's, you know,
Yeah,
you can have your t-shirt.
I think it's a great point you made, and I need to hear that more. I do need to hear that, because part of it is a humbling process to me to talk to people about it, and I think it is empowering to have your own merch too. I can see that side. So it's these kind of like podcast settings are actually really good for me, because I like to hear, you know, different perspectives.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Like they can have their merch, and it probably won't sell but 1 t-shirt every 3 years, but it doesn't change the game for you, I don't think, because you're still going to be dealing with much larger creators anyways. Yes, Don?
I was just going to say, speaking of perspectives, what does Quiet Chris think about all this?
I mean, I was just sitting back listening, but I went a different direction with my merch. Like I don't push that on my community. Yeah, everyone has their merch, but I'm the one that has spent the most money on my merch, because basically what I do is it's an incentive to be a part of the community. Is every 100 followers, I give away a t-shirt. So I pay for the t-shirt, and then whenever they win, they just click a link and they put in their shipping info and it gets sent to them. That's just us celebrating gaining followers, growing the community. So like I don't press that on my community at all. I felt like it was a benefit to give the community something to look forward to. So that's the reason I have it. I think only like 3 people have actually like gone out of their way to buy a t-shirt from me. But I've probably spent like 200.
Yeah, that's still cool. You know, actually, you know, thinking critically on this, I do think it's really cool that we all have access to it. Maybe I'm harboring something against just the total saturation of the market. But once I kind of speak to you guys directly about it, I think that's really, there's a place for it. And I think that I'm gonna walk away from this conversation and think more critically about, you know, different sides of influencers, and if there is a cutoff, or when I personally would look at it and say you deserve merch. But I think it's I think these are good feedback from you guys. I like it.
It's just perceptive,
question.
You know. It's perceptive, the whole thing.
Wait,
you have a more bulk and business side of it. What do you want?
Well, Don,
you're interrupting Chris.
Sorry, I just wanted to make sure everyone's okay on Discord here, because I was shitting out, and Don said, "Hey, is your Discord shitting out?" And I'm like, maybe is yours, but it looks like it's good now.
All that really matters is the local recordings, so we're fine.
Yeah, but I need to understand what you're saying. You sound like Optimus Prime, but whatever.
Well, settle down, Mr. Robot. Chris, what were you saying before you were again so rudely
I
interrupted?
was talking first.
Who are you talking about? Who is the robot?
I have too much fun with this. Sorry.
Not
Well done.
sponsored, by the way.
This is like a GoXLR commercial for me, man. He's just showing off all these neat little things about it, and I just want one more and more.
I'm
I
gonna
can't
watch
wait
the
to spend
podcast.
$400 on
I'm
it.
gonna watch the podcast later, like see when it comes out, and then realize that it's just you've cut out all the meat and potatoes, and it's just snippets of me messing with the Go XLR. It was just a plot to get
Yeah.
money from
This is
them.
gonna be a minute and a half long of you tooling around with your toys. And
See,
then it's just
look,
gonna
we do
end.
get partners on the podcast. Go XLR, sponsor us.
See?
We got them to do funny bits on it.
Only thing we're missing is that
This is
fucking
genius.
horn
Oh,
This
sound.
is genius. I was baited. They did the podcast over time. They're looking to get a product out. Genius, guys.
Straight suckered in, bro.
Yep. You saw right through our plan.
So how's the new? You said you were trying the newest flavor of the hot sauce.
Yeah, this one's a sweet and smoky habanero. The first one we did was Serrano pepper, so it's called Serranosaurus Rex, which is just like a goofy little
Yep.
farting dinosaur that ate people. This one's
Yeah, I love
called
that name.
Haba the Hutt, and
Ooh.
it's a sweet and smoky habanero. And Ravaging, I'll send you a picture real quick. I think you'll get a kick out of this. Continue on
Not
with the
gonna lie,
combo
man,
while I
that
do this,
sounds very-
but I'll try to carry this while I'm doing it. But go ahead, guys.
Are we allowed to know what the third flavor is going to be?
It's gonna be hot as. It's gonna be Carolina Reapers. I haven't named it yet. We don't usually name it. Like usually I'll have some drinks and just go someplace in my mind and figure it out. And so we'll be doing that.
Oh, God. The name needs to be hot as bleep.
I was thinking that. I was thinking of calling it something like downright, just like not offensive, but just out there, because it's really gonna be that hot. Ravaging, I just sent that to you if you want to pop it up on the
I
screen
see
real
it.
quick.
Yeah. I'm going to pop it up on the screen. This is great.
Just hot as, and then just like the dollar symbol asterisk, like just bleep it out on the label too.
Or if you want to go really offensive, I mean, it's it
If you
is
guys
in
wanna
the
look at-
South.
If you want to look,
So you know,
Who drew
Carolina
that,
Reapers.
dude? I need to know.
You've got
so I've got a bunch of designers in house that
It's-
do merch, and I just like poach them, and I'm like, hey, we're on this special project now.
My God, he's hula. What do you hookah? He's hookahing. Hookah. How do you like
Hookah.
make a verb out of that?
hookahing.
Hookahing. He's hookahing your hot sauce.
The hot sauce is a hookah, but he's
Why are
also
you
the
not
pepper.
saying smoking? It's a smoking device.
Well, because obviously he's not smoking it. It's hot sauce.
You never smoked beer?
Yeah, but you don't hookah a hookah. You smoke a hookah.
See, this is the sign of a good label. Look how much we've just talked about it. Like we're in debates, we're thinking about it. Suddenly we're having beers and buying more hot sauce because we go to bed each other, and then I sell out in 4 hours. You know,
This
Yeah,
is actual content creation right here.
that's exactly.
Um,
I've already got you guys. You got debated, and actually, this is a giant
Clickbaited.
ad for my hot sauce. So if you guys want to head over to hotsaucegod.com and pick up your new bottle. Just kidding. It's awesome.
Does,
But
Boom.
by the
does
way,
this need to be the thumbnail of the YouTube video? This needs
best
to be the
URL
thumbnail,
ever
doesn't
bought.
it?
Best URL.
Incorporate it in some way for sure. But
That's up to,
no,
that's
back
up to
to
Mitch.
back to what what I was saying, and just mull this over. This isn't something I would recommend as a final. But since Carolina Reaper coming out of the South, how about bleep your sister hot?
Okay. I don't know
Sorry,
how that
dude.
would work.
So-
Actually, I did see I was at, so I went to this Creole restaurant to do a hot shit episode. And if for those of that aren't familiar on the podcast, it's just it's a show where I spend 2 minutes and 20 seconds eating the hottest foods in Columbus, and then I score their heat from 1 to 10. But I went to this Creole restaurant, and they had this spice called Slap Ya Mama, and I literally was like, I loved it. It tastes great, but I still was like, how does a brand like this survive now, where everyone thinks
I've
there's
heard
some
of
kind of
this.
agenda? Yeah, like there's some kind of agenda behind the sauce or whatever. But like, I was just laughing so hard because I was like, this is amazing, right? It's kind of goofy, but also like, I can't believe this exists.
Wait, do they sell this sauce like they distribute it to like grocery chains around the state
it's
of
more.
Ohio,
It's
right?
not like a sauce. It's kind of like a Creole Cajun like seasoning you just put on your dish after, like your drunken chicken. You just sprinkle the stuff on top afterwards.
Okay, because I'm pretty sure I've seen something called Slap Your Mama in a Kroger in Cincinnati.
Thank you for not putting an
wasn't
S
it
on
like-
it, by the way. Everyone that talks about that, like, you get a Kroger's, and I'm like, oh god, that's how I know
I-
you're from Ohio.
Despise those people.
Oh, I
Those
like to go to the Walmart.
Those people have
It's
Streamlabs
the
merch.
Walmart.
You know what? You know what triggers me?
I'm just
You know
kidding.
what
Again, I
triggers
take
me?
offense to that.
Actually, I'm not even from Iowa, but when I hear someone say Des Moines, I get triggered.
Isn't it Des Moines?
Shut up.
What's the
I
other
got
one?
one
What's
for
the
you
other? What's the
guys.
other one? Nolans. Nolans. You're not allowed to say New
Yeah,
Orleans.
it's New Orleans.
Yeah, Nolans.
It's not hard to say.
By the way, have you guys watched? And you guys,
I've never heard
like,
that.
you guys look like you might like stand up, guys. Did you watch the new special from shit? What's his name? I can't think of his name right now. Let me get back to you.
Tom Segura.
Tom Segura, amazing. Have you seen it?
Wait, are you?
Yeah,
Is
that's
that
what-
actually who you're thinking
Yes,
of?
I was thinking of Tom Segura. His new
Holy
stand-up
shit.
special is so funny, dude.
What's the special called?
Don't ask me. I just watched it when I was drunk the other night. I'll tell you in one
I'll
second.
find it.
There is a mini computer sitting in front of me. Tom Segura new special. Either way, you should watch it. It's hilarious.
While he's looking that up,
Disgusting
while he's looking
distraction.
that up, we were talking about
All
pronouncing
hog.
something a second ago. In the Super Savage discussion channel there, which I believe you have access to now, Mr. Pickle, because I made you a podcast person. Pronounce that word I just posted. I want to hear you guys pronounce that word.
Worcestershire.
Oh my god. Butchered. Absolutely fucking.
No,
You're
it
a-
sounds like Don knows how to say it. Let's hear
You're
Chris.
a fucking hot sauce maker. You don't know how to
Worcestershire.
pronounce Worcestershire?
What?
No.
It's Worcestershire. Worcestershire is the
Worcestershire?
correct pronunciation. I'm fucking drunk, and I can say that word correctly.
You're always drunk. It's not like anything.
Worcester.
Worcestershire. Worcester.
Worcestershire.
It's named
I
after a
love hearing
town in England,
Worcestershire.
and they.
Yeah, I seen them episodes of the Lord of the Rings, man. It's a Worcestershire, bro. They come from the Shire.
Worcestershire.
Listen, they come to
They
the.
put a silent H in front of the C there, or an
Oh,
invisible
God.
H.
Listen, I saw the guy. That little hobbit came from the Shire over there, and it was a Worcestershire from the with the
In
Wu Tang.
Worcester. Yeah, you're not incorrect.
Oh,
Listen,
I love
you guys
it.
set me
I
up.
love it.
You guys set me up on this show one more fucking time. I'm leaving.
I grew up in the South, dude. Everyone uses Worcestershire, right? And hearing and remembering what all these old rednecks called it, it's just so golden now. It's like Worcestershire, or some of them would just add like an extra 4 syllables to it, and be like Worcestershire.
I've heard almost every possible pronunciation of this, like, and
Except
a lot
for
of
the
it.
correct one.
A lot of my ire comes from my family. My extended family has a chili cook-off every year out in Harrison, Ohio, and 50% of them are like fucking bars and stars flying fucking rednecks, and none of them can pronounce that fucking word correctly. And it honestly, it's to the point of hilarity now. But when in my younger days, in my my angsty, my family's type days, it was I would get upset, like, you guys are just doing this to make fun of me.
I just remember I was at a nice restaurant one time. I cannot remember what restaurant it was, but I remember it was a pretty nice restaurant, and one of the menu items had this word in the name, and I asked for this item, and he looked at me and he's like, "What?" I'm like, "Worcestershire." And he's like, "Worcester?" I'm like, "Oh my god."
I have a story
you
like
work
that.
here, bro.
I have a story like that, and it was awful,
Oh,
and
let's
I'll
hear
never
it.
forget it the rest of my days. I ordered from B-Dubs. I'm sitting at a B-Dubs bar with my buddy. We go there to watch some football. Okay,
And
I'm
eat some delicious hot sauce.
Yeah, I was just sitting there to get
Just
the food.
kidding.
Yeah, we're not plugging that one, buddy. I'd rather plug Box hard. So I'm sitting at the bar and I order my food, and the server comes out and he is this ridiculous dude that is like wearing a headband. So I'm already like, oh, this is gonna be good, right? So he comes up and he goes, "Who ordered this?" the wings? And I was like, that's me. And then he looks at me and goes, say please. And I was like, what? But in the moment, I was like, all right, please. And he goes, there you go. Parmesan garlic. And I go, no, I had the Parmesan garlic. He goes, it's actually pronounced Parmesan, and walked away. And I literally had no rebuttal. I literally just stood there and took it. And it still haunts me to this day that a server made me say please and Parmesan garlic and just bounced. Mic drop like he was 100% correct and left.
I love that guy.
Oh no!
I fucking love that guy.
I was like, I don't even know what just happened, but I think I was violated.
I hope he is. I hope he is still at maybe not that B-dubs, but like maybe another B-dubs in another state because he had to move from all the death threats that he got from mispronouncing
that guy.
Parmesan.
I can tell you right now, will be bouncing from B-dub to B-dub or franchise of frying food to franchise of frying food. That is the highest that guy will go. No question about it.
That is still beautiful in every way.
I wanted to, I still have, that was 8 years ago, and it haunts me. I wake up with cold sweats at night over the Parmesan garlic. Ridiculous.
My God, dude.
Ninja
Like, honestly, though,
wannabe guy.
Just echoing.
Oh, dude,
Parmesan,
that's like an internet argument.
Well,
or something,
I mean,
blocks
he
you.
set the tone by saying like, "Here's your food, say please," and I wanted to be like, "Motherfucker, I paid for that. Give me the fucking food."
The bleeps.
And then you're gonna hit me with Parmesan?
If I'm a customer somewhere and you tell me to still say please, even though I'm already like, I have manners, I'm gonna thank you for giving me my food. But if you tell
money,
if you're holding the food above my head and going, you have to say please first, and be like, go fuck yourself, dude.
See, that's why I started an Instagram account. So like the food thing started from this Instagram account where I just grew it like multiple thousands here in Columbus. So I have a little bit of power. So that actually happened to me one time where the service was so bad at Hot Shit. I waited an hour and 20 minutes to get 5 wings. And so I walk out to do the thing, and I said, "Hey, what's up, guys?" On a heat scale, like jumped into my final like thing without it. Like people were like, "What's going on?" And I just dumped it in the bag, and I said, "I'm not rating this shit," and walked off. And I posted that thing, and that thing went hella viral. It went nuts because it's not my style. I got a call from the owner of the franchise who was so pissed off at me for posting that video, and still to this day, I am not welcome back in their restaurants.
Fuck them.
Fuck that restaurant, dude. 120 minutes for fucking 5 wings. They can fuck
I literally
themselves.
looked in the camera and I was like, I don't do this often. On a heat scale, boom, I'm not rated it, dropped their food and left. But I picked the food up. But I literally picked it up and just walked. And I encourage you guys to watch it. I'll link it to you, Savage, because it's 30 seconds and it's so funny, dude. Let me see if I can find it real quick. So we'll carry on real quick.
If you can get it linked right now,
Did you
I'll play it on
explain?
stream.
Did you explain why you did that?
I did, but the guy was
board?
you can't reason with that sometimes, dude. Like he literally was he's like, I'm just so bad you threw the full force of your brand at it. And I was like, what do you mean? That's why I built a brand, so I can throw the full force of like what I do with it. Like otherwise nobody's gonna watch anything I do. And he's like, well, I still think that you were in the wrong here. And then we basically left the conversation with no, and he was like, no, and that was pretty much it. Like I'm still not on good terms with him anymore. And
So
I welcome there.
the owner of a restaurant, a food serving establishment that is based on customer service,
It was the worst customer service I've ever had.
responded to your, you being upset with, fuck you, don't tarnish my brand. Not, hey, I'm sorry for this experience you had. Like,
and I told him, I just said, I think you're just
like,
upset that you got caught, because it was truly terrible service. Like, it wasn't just the wait. The bartender left and didn't come back. And so, like, I'm just sitting there waiting with no communication, which is the worst, dude. You can have an hour and 20, set me an expectation. Like, just say, hey man, you might want to go over here for a while. This is going to be a long time. Like, the guy just quit. Or, here's some free beer. Sit around, watch some TV. Sorry about that.
Or, I mean, if the bartender walks away, you can't even pay for a fucking beer. So you're sitting there with no booze no food.
I had to flag down another person to tell me to go find the food, and then magically it's ready. Like, it was just so much, dude. And then as I'm
think
waiting,
it's
I see
okay
the
to come at you
bartender making
crazy.
fun of me in the back. Like, she doesn't think I can see her, and she's like doing my same like hand motions because I was like visually like at a point I kind of lost my cuckoo. I was like, this is ridiculous, and I want to talk to somebody. Nobody to talk to, and it's not like it was a busy day. So there was just like a culmination of like 10 different things, and I was really just trying to do an episode to help them. That I finally said like, screw it, I'm not gonna do this, and I'm actually kind of concocted the idea with like, you know, the clock started, and I was like, you know what, we're gonna do it this way. Flip the script, and I want to see this video on
deserved
Savages real
every
quick.
bit of
I want to
that.
see this video because for context, and
Before
I'll
I
tell
g-
you how it ended.
Before I go into the video, I want to read just a couple of these comments. Ouch. Here's another comment. That place is trash. Oh, wait, here's another one. That's a McDonald's service. Thumbs down. Well, I like this one. How did they see the god of hot sauce in their establishment and not expedite the order so they too can enjoy the Instagram video to come? Oh my, let's see what we got here. Oh man, is there
I'm gonna
another way,
unmute
like,
your stream. You'll have to cut this into
Is there
the
is there
podcast
no way
audio
to,
later.
like, I guess not.
I don't think
To, like,
Instagram
turn
will
it
let you.
down?
Oh,
Oh, thanks Instagram. Whatever.
Hi, dude. We're at Beer Barrel up in Easton. Just waited like an hour and 10 minutes for the worst service I've ever had. Waitress didn't say anything after we clearly were waiting. Another person had to come and help us out and go figure out what his to-go order was. Awful. Nuclear Wings. Beer Barrel. Easton. Let's try these bad boys on a heat scale. None. Not rated. That's no service.
Oh! Oh! Oh!
do you like the thanks for the service at the end? Too?
Truly savage.
Oh, that was savage.
I thought you guys might like that. So anyway, the guy calls me, we get into a feud, and then he's like, okay, how can we make it better? And I was like, I'll come back and refilm an episode if you apologize to me on all my socials in public to make it right, since this was a public affair. And they did it, and then I just didn't show back up.
Damn.
Damn.
I know, dude. I was like, I'm done. I'm not gonna take the time out of I'm not being paid for this, you know, whatever. I'm out.
Damn.
If the guy was nice,
OGPickle
how about this?
Mr.
jerk.
Pickle was a savage.
If the guy was nice and called and said, look, dude, we screwed up. I don't like your reaction, but I understand. Come back out. Let's do a re-review. I'll do them with you. Here we go. I would have been so jacked to give them a freaking the best salvaging top. Those wings could have tasted like butt frozen wings, and I would have made them look like they were just the most gourmet things that had ever graced my lips. But that guy completely botched it. So truth is, guys, if you screw up, just own up to it. It's going to be better. than that.
Yeah, that's the takeaway. That's
I
the
mean,
takeaway.
if you work in customer service, man, like you have to know customers come first, and if you're dealing with somebody who might be an influencer, and I don't mean that in the fucking trite like, oh, I'm an influencer, like no, like somebody who like people watch their content to make decisions on whether they're coming to purchase your product, maybe don't be an asshole to them.
I couldn't
Did
agree
he-
more.
Out of curiosity, did he know who you were before this all started, like at all?
I don't usually call ahead. I did that before. I used to set it up and get it for free, and a lot of times I just paid for it because it basically kept the integrity of the
It's
show.
authentic.
Yeah, because what I noticed would happen if I call ahead, people would doctor it. They would make things that available to them that weren't like, so like if I called ahead and I was like, hey, I'm doing this hot sauce show, I rate the hot sauce, and they'd be like, that's amazing, please come in here, it's all for free. I would get there and this wouldn't be what would be on the menu. It would just be like so doctored up because they started seeing the videos and like making sure that they had a high score. They didn't want to like be too soft, or sometimes they would like get scared for me to come in because they're like, we don't really have hot foods. We don't want to be judged. And I kept trying to like explain to them like, no, you do have the hot foods. I'm telling people how hot it is so people will buy more, hopefully. Like they'll be like, oh, I'm not too scared to order that because it's something I can handle. Or
That's a 2 out of 10.
Right.
Like, I can totally eat that.
yeah,
all
but somebody
day.
who's used to like salt and pepper might be scared to get the mango habanero wings because they think it's gonna blow out their beehole later. But really, it's just like a it's actually a little less than a regular hot sauce. You know what I mean? Like it's actually cool, and so that's why the premise of the show it worked. It wasn't about flavor. It wasn't about if the wings were good. Because I would slide in things like if you go watch the episodes, there's a lot of nuances where I was like, wow, these are really crispy. Almost to say like you fried the shit out of those wings. You know what I mean? Wow, there's a lot of crunch on this one. So I would try to slide things in to like kind of give hints to the people that watched a lot of episodes over and over. Like don't go there, but this is like not that hot, or this is really hot, but it tastes like crap. So I slid a few of those things in to be polite, but still, be welcome in people's doors.
Like blazing wings. I mean, what would you say for something that's like really hot but has like zero fucking flavor to it?
So Savage, I'll also send you. I don't think I have my laptop with me. I'll send you a list after this. I actually kept a Google Doc of every place I went to, every score I handed out, any special guests. Because Choco Taco was actually on the show with me too. So I've done a lot of special guests from top to bottom, and I've kept every score, every heat level, and what I ate. And I've done. Yeah, I took it really seriously because I go all in on things when I really get passionate about it. And so I'll link you guys. Unfortunately, I'm out of time. I've got to go be a dad and stuff, but I'll link you to that. I'll let you guys read through. So some of your favorite foods, whether it's commercial or local here in Columbus, you'll know what you're up against, and you'll be able to see, all the ratings right there in front of you.
Hell yeah. I'm all about it.
Thanks for coming, Pickle.
Before you take off, I'm gonna message you and just get some like deets that I need from you. Just simple questions and stuff. But yeah, I'm all about it.
Yeah, I really appreciate it, guys. I don't get to talk about a lot of this stuff in a more formal setting sometimes. Some people know bits and pieces of what I do. Some people think I do this one thing. Some people think I just like sit in a garage and cut and design t-shirts.
Honestly, dude, this has been one of my favorite things about having guests on the podcast is that gives the guest an opportunity to tell their community or anybody all these things that they kind of wish they could have told, like if you're streaming or something, you're live streaming and people ask you tidbit questions here and there. It's like how did you meet Choco Taco or something like that? You can give little bits and pieces here, but to be able to kind of pour it out, God, I love that.
Yeah, let's do a follow-up episode sometime. I feel like I've got so many more stories because I've done a lot of stuff over the years. Like we've only scratched the surface because I am one of those fanatics that want to do like, from hot sauces and to music to like, I've got a lot more stories to share that I would love to follow up. Maybe we can set up in that time to do another episode or
Hell yeah.
some here again soon, boys. I'd love to.
Yeah, dude.
Absolutely,
Well, I appreciate you having us, and can't wait to talk to you again.
Yeah, man. Send me those deets.
Yeah,
Thank you guys so much. These are some great people around here. Awesome streamers. I frequent all of their channels, and they are great content creators. They're trying. They're doing great things, and I'm excited to see this podcast when you guys get to episode 100. You're going to be so polished and refined, dude. I'm excited for you guys. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mitch.
Love you,
Take
bro.
it easy,
Love you
Mitch.
too. We'll see you guys.
Bye.
Patreon.com/HelpUsNextTV.
Oh, Jesus Christ. We lasted so long, dude.
I had to sneak it in,
We
man.
did
I had
so
to sneak it in.
We did so good, and you had to throw that in there.
We lasted so long. I was like, he's really not going to say it.
No, it worked. It worked so well. It was perfect.
It was like a record, man. It was a record. He
Oh,
lasted
man.
48 and a half minutes. That's good.
So long.
Mitch is a great guy. I like him even more now.
Yeah,
he's the
I'm a
best.
fan. I was
always
barely
watch his
aware of his
stream.
existence prior to 48 minutes ago, but yeah, I'm probably gonna go at least follow his Twitch channel. I don't have
Oh,
an
yeah,
Instagram, so I
definitely.
can't do
As
all that.
a-
But
As a matter of fact,
I hope he cross posts those Insta reviews to like Twitter or something that's like a publicly available social media platform where you don't have to actually sign up. Because I'm
Yeah,
not signing up for Instagram.
No. Before we get too far away from it, I meant to get him to pitch himself. Before we get too far away from it, so I'm like, man, y'all like to spam the fucking sound commands in my chat at the wrong time. Anyways, before we get too far away from it, I want to pitch his Twitch account, his Twitch channel. If you guys wanted to follow him on Twitch, there will be a link in the description. It's twitch.tv/It's OGPickle, ITSOGPickle. He's super entertaining.
Clack, clack.
Clack, 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 clack. Yeah, he's super entertaining. I've really enjoyed getting to know him over the past couple of months just through Twitch, and he's a really cool dude, really entertaining.
And
he's
followed.
I love how supportive he is. Like, he has come into my channel several times just to chill for a little bit, even before he was partnered or anything. Just come and chill a little bit. Like, he'll come and leave you a lurk and all sorts of stuff. He's a really cool dude. There's not many.
Yeah, he's come by
like
my
him
channel
out
a
there.
couple times, hung out for about an hour or two, and then moseyed on his
Yeah.
way to do whatever.
Yeah,
I've never seen this man in my life, and he shows up today, and he just. I can't tell
Are you
where he
crying?
touched me, but I can show you on this doll.
If that's what
it's
it-
anatomically correct.
If Don looks how he sounds when he's crying, I don't want to be anywhere near him.
Sounds kind of hot.
No,
well,
y'all Southern
you're
boys
in
can have
luck.
fun with that.
I'm right outside your window, and I'm looking at you right now.
Baby.
You're a liar.
Oh, man, I hope he...
You're lying.
Okay, he saved it and sent it to me. Thank God. I was like, Jesus Christ, I hope he didn't forget to save that audio. I think I'm actually surprised he lasted a lot longer than I expected. Most guys only last a couple of minutes. He lasted like 45, so...
I would say
Wow.
seconds at the most.
Yeah,
But
right?
yeah.
Jesus, he's intense.
He was having
You
fun.
guys
That's some
sound...
stamina. That's some staying power right there.
Yes. You guys ready to wrap this up? I think that was a pretty hearty episode.
Yeah, it was solid, man. That was it
Would
was
you
short but sweet.
say... Would you go as far as to say that it was spicy?
Oh.
Oh,
Let's go play
I
some
would
PUBG.
not make that joke.
of course you wouldn't.
Let's go play some PUBG. I'm done with this.
All right, lead us out of
PUBG's
here,
for
Don.
losers. All right. Well, fuck, that was abrupt. So that was episode 11 of the Savage Den podcast, and I'd like to thank first and foremost Mitch, aka It's OGPickle on the Twitchers, for being our special guest and giving us a little slice of what it's like to make t-shirts and review hot wings. But for now, I'd like to thank you all for listening, and I love you.
I
And
love
that's
you.
it. No, it's I'm doing the outro. Fuck off. Chris, do you have anything you
Okay.
want to add?
No, fuck you.
No, I'm doing the outro. Fuck off.